When we set up Flubaroo in the last video, a new way of handling a question was grade by hand. This is especially helpful if you would like to have a paragraph form question and you need to go in later and view the question and manually grade it. So I've added a paragraph question to this quiz to demonstrate how this would work. I strongly advise making sure all of your questions are on that form before using Flubaroo, but I was able to reset things a little bit. So we're going to go back into the sample quiz, and I've resubmitted answers, including this last question. And my first respondent is the answer key user. I'm going to use that when I go back and have it grade again. So this is sort of a way of showing you how you can go back and regrade even after the first time you ran Flubaroo. It is good in this situation where you kind of reset things, but it's also good if you have answers on here and then you had some students take the quiz after you already ran Flubaroo already. So this is what it would sort of look like. I'm going to go to Add-ons, Flubaroo, and instead of the grade assignment, it's going to say regrade assignment. So I'm going to choose that. It may say before this screen that you're going to overwrite the grades, and as long as your answer key is accurate, that should be okay. Just make sure that you pick the right answer key later on. So here, the username, first name, last name, identify student, normal grading. For the 3 questions here, here's a new one, the one where they have to write a paragraph. I'm going to choose to grade it by hand, and I'm going to make it worth a little bit more. Maybe I'll make it 8 points. So that's how you would choose the grade by hand option, knowing that this question now won't get an automatic grade, and you need to go back in and actually look at it. So I'm going to click on continue, and this is the answer key. So I'm going to choose that to test against, to check against, excuse me. I'm going to click on continue. And it's running and it tells me that it's complete. So I have 2 users here, or 2 students, Bo Diddley and Pooh Bear, and Bo Diddley has 0. And what I'll mention is I didn't grade this answer yet. This is the manual grade. So what it does is it counts it as a 0 until you grade it. That's important to know, that if you kind of send out grades and you forgot to grade these, it's going to deflate those grades somewhat. So make sure that you do all of your hand grading before you send out results, and we'll show how to do that. So I'm going to go to the add-on Flubaroo, and there's an option to grade questions by hand. This is really great. If you choose this, it's going to show all the questions that you said you're going to grade by hand in this drop-down menu. So it helps you filter them out quickly. So I'm on Bo Diddley. This is a student, this is a username, and this is what the student submitted. And I'm going to click on Review Answer Key and see what I wrote as the answer key student. So I gave a quick answer in a paragraph format. I could just merely put the key words that I'm looking for to make it easy, but it's also reminding me that I want this in a paragraph format. So I'm going to enter in the notes for the students, and this is going to go out by mail. Here's where I score maybe a 3, because they didn't really give me concrete examples, but they did give me something. I'm going to set the grade. So this is going to put the grade on that spreadsheet. Then I could click on this arrow to go to the next student, and it shows me their answer for the same question. So I'm going to give them 1 point because at least they wrote something, but they didn't really write any kind of answer. So I'm going to set the grade. The grade has been applied. So that's kind of it. I don't have any other students here, but that's what you would do to cycle through all the students. And don't forget to cycle through all of the questions as well. I'm going to click on this X button to close it. And now you can see there are scores here. So it's no longer 0, but it's quite bad. So now we're going to look at how we can provide more feedback to the students, not just for that one question that we did, but for the whole quiz. I'm going to go to Flubaroo, edit student feedback. And if you were watching, it made a quick column here, and it's optional. It went right before the first question. I can write a comment to the student overall. And what's nice is I can just copy and paste if I want to provide feedback that's similar between students. So there I'm giving the feedback to students, and now I want to share it with them. So in order to share, I go back to add-ons, Flubaroo, share grades. So I'm choosing that, and I have a couple of ways I can share grades with students. One thing that you want to collect is the email address of every student so you can share the grades with them. And you can do that in either their email account or their Google Drive account. So you need to make sure you choose the email address. Where does it appear? It's in their username, okay, and I can double check it here. How do I want to share it? I could share it just by email. I could share it with a Google Drive. It creates a document that is shared with them, or both places. I'm going to choose both, show you what it looks like. You can include a list of questions and scores, and you could include the answer key if you'd like. You could also include a general message. It goes to all of the students that took the quiz, and I'm going to leave that blank because I gave individual feedback, if you recall, in that extra column that we made. So I'm going to click on continue, and let's see what happens. It will take a while depending on how many students you have. So 2 grades, and that's okay. So let me log into one of the students. I'm going to go to this test user, and I'm going to go to the Google Drive, shared with me. And here is grade for test 2, sample quiz. So this document is stored in a folder in my drive, and it's in the shared with me for the students. So I can see whose grade this is and what the title of it is. I'm going to open it up. And there, as a student, I can see I'm suggesting. I cannot edit this. So that's pretty slick that the student cannot change the grade here. And you can see the information, the name, the grade, the percentage, the feedback, and then the question, the answer, the correct answer, the points I earned, and any comments made by the instructor. So this is that column that was generated, and this is when I was hand grading it. I made that comment. So that's where that shows up. I'm going to go to the email of the student to show you what it looks like there. Click on mail. And it comes from this no reply, here's your grade. Again, the same information with a comment. Here I can click on this link, it goes to my drive, so there's the document and the information, who took it. Then if it's incorrect, it's in red, and it's giving me the answers I gave and then the correct answer if I didn't answer correctly and the points I earned. So red for incorrect, green for correct, and yellow if it was hand graded. So that's pretty neat. It's a really quick way to share that information with students. Let's take a look at a couple of other features. So in add-ons under Flubaroo, we looked at regrading, sharing grades. View Report makes a histogram graph of your students' grades. So, okay, if that's interesting to you, you can see trends. That's a great report. I'm going to go back and look at a couple of more things. You can go to this advanced, and there are advanced options. You can change the threshold when the information is highlighted in red. And you can also change the return address. When you email grades, it comes from your email address instead of this no reply address. A couple of other things. You can, and we're going back to advanced, enable auto grade. What that means is you can set it up to automatically grade the form quiz without your intervention. So a student could go take it, get their grade right away. That would be helpful in certain circumstances, especially if the questions all had, specific correct answers. That's a pretty cool feature. I won't go into that, but that is even more timely feedback for students. You can print the grades. It creates a document for each student that you can hand out, set the language, or check your email quota. Each email address, Google address, can send specific numbers of emails per day. And if you have a lot of respondents here and it's sending emails out, you can check to see if you've met your quota for the day. If you're in danger of that, maybe you need to restructure your form or take a break and do another batch the next day. All right, that's it. How to use Flubaroo, advanced features, and how to provide automated feedback for your students. Thanks.